Hey, what's up, everybody? In today's episode, we are going to give you 10 things that your realtor probably isn't going to tell you about your home touring etiquette. But first, you're at home with the Willises. So before we get started, we got to remind you to make sure that you subscribe. That's right. Hit that button down there in the corner. And also make sure you like and share these videos with people that you know that are maybe interested in real estate or moving or all of the above. All right. So here's about home etiquette. Or not home etiquette, but we're talking about
home tour etiquette.
We're talking about home tour etiquette. Now, we have taken so many people out on home tours, and we've got some stories to share.
Absolutely.
But also, we want to make sure that you know that there is a right way and a wrong way to tour a home. So if you're in the market, or if you think you're going to be in the market very soon, you'll want to watch this video so that you know the right way to tour a home. All right, so we got 10 things. Here's number one. Number one is it's actually okay to open closets and pantries. Now, I know you don't want to pry, especially those of you who, kind of respect people's spaces, but it's okay to open up closets and pantries and cabinets. You want to see, how much space you can fit in there, especially with closets. For me, pantries, but most people, closets.
For me, closets.
Yeah.
Because unless you open that door, you don't know if it's a walk-in closet, a stand-in closet, or just reach your arm in their closet. It's okay because a lot of times, I hate to say it, but a lot of the women want to know if they can fit their clothes in there. Also, I like clothes too, so it may not have enough closet space for me. So it's okay to look in the closet. This is somewhere that you're going to live for the next 5 to 30 years, possibly.
Yeah.
Look in the closets, open the pantry, and see what the space is like. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, ready for number two?
Number two.
Number two is, please don't sit on the furniture.
No.
Don't sit on the furniture. So I have a story about that.
Okay.
I was showing a condo to a client. This was several years ago. So I was showing a house to a client, and they had their daughter with them. Daughter was a little bit on the heavier side, and she actually sat on the bed, and we heard a crack noise. So something actually happened to the bed because she was like sitting on the bed repeatedly.
Babe, you can't say somebody's daughter is heavy.
I can't.
No.
Why not?
I'm so sorry.
It's a funny story.
Okay. I don't think you can say somebody's daughter is heavy.
Why not? It's
Jen,
a funny
can he
story.
say
It's
somebody's
a funny
daughter?
story.
Okay, Jen said you can
what
say
it's
it.
about.
So we're gonna keep
okay. Story.
Oh, it's okay. We're rolling. She was a little on the heavy side.
She was a little on the heavy side. We heard a cracking noise on the bed. Something happened to the bed frame, and I had to call the listing agent and explain that, one of the kids, they weren't jumping on the bed, but they sat on the bed and something happened with one of the boards or something. Nevertheless, it was embarrassing. Yeah. So just don't sit on the furniture. You never know what somebody could just be having, just barely sitting there just for staging for it to look nice. Yeah. And also you don't know if it's a family heirloom or something important, and you don't want to be responsible for anything that happens. Or it just doesn't look like, it looks like somebody has been sitting or tampering with the furniture.
Yeah, very true. We don't want no Goldilocks situations. That's what we're talking about. Speaking of, also, don't touch people's personal items, okay? Now remember, those personal items are not coming with the home. So you don't need to touch knickknacks or, plates and dishes and things like that in their bathroom. Leave all that stuff be. We can touch with our eyes, okay? So yeah, definitely don't touch people's personal items.
Yep. Yeah. So the next one is, if it's locked, don't touch it. So that's closets, anything that's locked, don't touch it. If they have it locked for a reason. People want you to buy their house when they look at it, but they also live there. They also live there on a day-to-day basis, or even if it's a vacation property, especially with vacation properties, they leave certain doors and things locked because they don't want you to go in there. So it's locked for a reason. So if it's locked, just leave it alone. If it's super important as pertaining to your decision about buying a house or not, your realtor can ask you, can answer the question or send an email or a text message and find out what's behind that door if you really, really got to know what's going on behind that door.
Absolutely. Also, inspection period. If you really love that house, there will be an inspection period, and that inspector can usually go all throughout that home and things like that. So there are ways that you can find out what's behind that door without trying to pry it open or anything like that. We don't want to mess up what's going on in the home. Okay. What else? This is a fun one. Okay. Now we know that there are a lot of people probably invested in you purchasing this home, okay? But when we are going to go on a home tour, or if I am showing you a home, make sure you only bring the decision makers, okay?
Yeah.
And the decision makers are the people whose name is going on the loan, the deed, etc. Okay? We love Aunt Peggy, and I'm sure she is a wonderful interior designer, but leave Aunt Peggy at home. Okay?
And Uncle Harry with the clipboard and the flashlight.
With the clipboard and leave both of them at home. We love them. It's wonderful that they want to be a part, but this is your home. And when you bring too many chefs in the kitchen, too many people,
too many chiefs.
Too many chiefs.
Only one chief.
It's only be one chief, and that's the person whose name is going on the loan and whose names are going on that deed. All right. So only the decision makers when you're going out for your home tour. All right, babe, what else?
This is a big one for me, not just with home tours, but just period. I don't know what's going on, but now it seems to be Pet Nation.
Yeah.
It's pets in the grocery store. It's pets in Kohl's. Okay. It's pets everywhere.
You're starting to sound like an old man.
If at all possible, don't bring your pet. Unless it's a service animal and you have to bring it. Don't bring pets. It's always the possibility of accident. We have a pet.
We do.
And we love our pet.
We love our Nyla.
But when you're looking at someone else's home, it's just always the possibility, we know it, that an accident can happen. And you don't want to be liable for any accidents that happen. And also, it's just awkward. You don't know if your realtor is a pet person or the person that lives in the house has an extreme allergy or anything like that. So if at all possible, unless it's a service animal, don't bring pets on a home tour.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, this one could be a little sensitive one. So let me preface by saying this. We have children. We have had children for as long as we've known each other. So we are parents, and we understand that sometimes you have to bring your children. But if you have to bring your children, understand, y'all, they're kids, okay? So set some expectations. Set some rules, okay, before you go into a stranger's home and go touring. At the end of the day, as your realtor, I want to make sure that you are not distracted, because this could be the home for you. This could not be the home for you. But if you're distracted, you'll never know. And what we want to make sure is that we eliminate all distractions. And then also, kids are going to be kids. We're not going to ask them to grow up and do all the things. Their attention span is pretty short, So if we're going to bring the kids, we're probably going to make a plan to keep it short. We're not going to be out all day touring homes, because kids don't like that. Who wants to be, of course, Miss Nicci is a lot of fun, but who wants to be out all day touring homes? Definitely not kids. So if you have to bring the kids, set those expectations, and then also keep it short. What else we got?
Let's see, what else do we have? This is a big one. If the seller has left a note or instructions, please abide by the instructions. Now, I have another story. This is on the property management side. I went to go look at a new property that we were looking to take over. We call it receivership. And the tenant requested that I take my shoes off when I came into the place.
Yeah.
Well, the place was much dirtier than my shoes, and I didn't feel comfortable taking off my shoes, and I didn't want to offend her, so I was caught in a little bit of a pickle. So what I do now is I have a big pack of booties that I can put on my shoes. I can give to my clients. So if they want you to take your shoes off and your sock game may not be as good as it should be, maybe a little couple holes or something like that, you can slip on the booties. That's one of the major things is the seller may ask you to remove your shoes, or they may ask you to turn off the lights or leave the lights on. So if they have instructions, they're probably very meticulous about their home and things that they want done. So just follow the rules and use proper home tour etiquette when you're looking at that particular property. So if they leave instructions or rules, check them out and let's abide by the rules.
That's so true. All right, we got another one. Sometimes the seller or the tenant may be there when we're touring the home. This is not common, but sometimes it can be more common if there is a tenant in the home. And sometimes the seller just doesn't like to leave the home. Here's what I'm going to tell you, Mr. or Miss Buyer. Okay, I'm going to tell you, do not engage. You can be polite. Hey, how you doing? But don't engage. There's no need. I think sometimes people tend to say, oh, well, maybe we can find out, like, why they're moving or what their motivation is. Hey, y'all, that's our job.
Let your realtor do their job.
Yeah, that's our job. So leave that to us because it could really backfire on you. So story time for me. I was showing a listing to a buyer, and he was a talker, and the tenant was there, and the tenant wasn't happy that they were that the property was being sold, and so we had to sit there, we sat there and like listen to the tenant go on and on and on and on, and the tenant has nothing to do with the property that we're looking at. And so it's okay to say hi, but really, guys, don't engage. Also, you really don't know why people are moving. The seller could be going through something, a divorce or whatnot. That same buyer also spoke with a seller that was going through the divorce. That was an even longer conversation. So it's really no need. We have a lot of tactics to, find out what people's motivation is, and, how to negotiate and things like that. So no need. Just be polite, say hi, and keep it moving. All right, last one.
This is probably the biggest one. The most important thing is, okay, it's February 2023. In 2023 now, these homes have eyes and they have ears.
Yes.
What does that mean? Rings,
Echoes,
Google,
Alexa's
Nest,
listening.
Alexa.
Honey, everybody's listening.
Especially when people have their place on the market, they have rings, they have cameras inside of the house, and they can record audio and video.
Yes.
So while you're saying, oh, that's terrible wallpaper, they can hear that.
They can see you.
They can hear you and they can see you.
Yeah.
So be very mindful of what you say. Like, oh, I think I can get them to go down on the price. You just basically put up a red flag and almost, potentially affected your negotiation. So
Absolutely.
It's okay for you to comment about the house, but be mindful of what you say and make sure that it won't have a bearing on the transaction or negotiating or confidential information.
Yeah.
And also doing things that you don't have no business doing in the property.
It's true.
What I always talk about is Big Brother and phones recording, and then next thing you know, you see the same thing you were talking about on your phone.
Yeah.
What I call Big Brother is watching. Be very mindful because these houses have ears and eyes, so be mindful of recording devices, audio and video.
Yeah. If you're with me, we're not going to talk about the house inside. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to go outside, far away from the house, and then we can discuss. So if I hear you talking about it, I'm going to say, you know what? Let's discuss outside.
It's kind of like when you go to an art museum. If you don't be super loud when you go to an art museum and you like checking out the things and you nod and you say yes, you're fascinated. It's kind of like when you're going on tour through an art museum, a museum. That's the type of tour etiquette you should have now.
Okay.
Looking at a house. I'm gonna
That's
use
good.
that.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Like a museum, like you're touring a museum.
I like it. I like it. Let's see. Oh, bonus. This is a bonus. You can go and see a house more than once. All right. That is, anybody that tells you that you can't is not telling you the truth. But if you're going back to think about this, if you're going back to go and see a house for the second time, then that means there probably needs to be a higher level of seriousness. So you might want to, at that point, you might be writing an offer that might be contingent upon something. But you can go back and see a house for a second time. Maybe you want to, maybe you saw it during the daytime and you want to go at night. Or maybe you saw it during the weekday and you want to see it, on the weekend. Or maybe your spouse or, your significant other could not make it. So there is a way that you can, go back and see a house for a second time, but just make sure that there is an additional level of seriousness that comes with that request. All right. Anything else? Real quick, this is another bonus.
This is bonus.
This is a bonus. Okay.
All right.
Last thing. You need to have a pre-approval letter that comes with your request to see a home. Okay. We're not going to show homes. And the majority, I'll say 99% of realtors do not show homes without a pre-approval letter. Now, if you need that, we are so happy to help you and send you to some really amazing loan officers that can help you and that can look at all your financials and all the things. But that pre-approval letter is that seriousness that says, hey, we are qualified and we are ready and we can purchase this home. And that is how now a lot of sellers want to look, and they want to make sure that you have that pre-approval letter before they even open the door. So make sure that you have that pre-approval letter. All right. I think that was it. Well, I hope this helped. If it did, go ahead and hit that like button right there. Also, make sure you subscribe. We are growing this channel and we want you to be a part. So, other than that, thanks so much and we'll see you next time. Bye.